Hi everyone. Today we are going to do a little grammar work. We are going to work on appositive phrases. Appositives phrases are probably something that you've heard before, but if I asked you what it was, you probably would not be able to tell me. But it's something that you probably had at prior levels. They are descriptive phrases that make your writing better. The thing about appositives is that we do not normally speak in appositives. We speak with like regular sentences or even subordinate clauses oftentimes, but we usually don't speak with appositives. However, appositives, when you add them to your writing, they really make your writing flow better and give your sentence structures a little bit of variety that helps make your writing look a little bit more mature. The thing about appositives is that they are extras. Okay, they are extra phrases. They are adjective phrases. They describe nouns. So it's almost like you could take any noun that's in your sentence and then find a phrase that could describe the noun just to enrich the description of that sentence a little bit. Appositives can always be taken out. They are always extra. And because they are extra and can be taken out, they are oftentimes going to be set apart by commas. The commas kind of indicate that it's extra and I don't really need it, but it's just nice to kind of have in there. Okay. As you can see, appositives do not have verbs in them. So if you see a phrase that's with commas around it and there's a verb in there, then that is not an appositive. It's probably just a subordinate clause. But because and every sentence needs a verb. So you can't take a clause out that has a verb in it because that's what the sentence needs. So if you have an appositive, it will not have a verb in it. Okay. Appositives oftentimes will start with simple adjectives, especially like a, and the are the most common ones to begin appositives. Sometimes you might have an appositive that starts with like my or our or your or their or some kind of pronoun. Other times you might have an appositive that starts with an adjective that just is using the author is just kind of like popping out a couple adjectives to give a noun a little bit of extra description. Okay, so these are what appositives look like. Now they can be found at the beginning, middle, or end of any sentence. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of show you some examples here. The first sentence is my cat, an 8-year-old tabby, doesn't seem to like me much. Now, the appositive here is an 8-year-old tabby. I have that in blue. Okay, and you can see that that is just an extra phrase. It's surrounded by commas, and if I took that out, that wouldn't be a big deal. I could just say that my cat doesn't seem to like me much. That is a sentence. But adding an 8-year-old tabby in there is a descriptor on the cat. And again, there's no verbs in there. It starts with a, an, or the, which is a very common appositive beginning. Sentence number 2 says the month of April, wet and cold in 2020, is finally over. In this case, I decided not to start the appositive with an a, an, or the, but simply a couple of adjectives. Wet and cold are just adjectives that describe the month of April, and 2020 is a prepositional phrase. So again, you will see that there are no verbs. Okay, but if I took out that phrase that's in blue and just said the month of April is finally over, I would still have a sentence. Okay, these appositives are just adding a little more detail and a little more variety again to your sentence structure, making your writing look a little bit better. The last one says that one of my favorite sports, golf, is a great way to get exercise and fresh air. Sometimes appositives will start a sentence. In this case, I have the phrase, one of my favorite sports, which modifies the noun golf, is a great way to get exercise and fresh air. If I had taken that part out and just said golf is a great way to get exercise and fresh air, that is a sentence. So the one of my favorite sports is not needed for the sentence, but it adds some extra description and adds some extra color to your sentence. Okay. So those are positives. That is the assignment for today. Check out the Google form that I have attached to the lesson for today. It's going to give you a chance to not only identify some positives, but also write some as well. And it's a good idea just to add them to your writing every once in a while. Again, we don't do this intentionally, so it's something that a writer we don't do it automatically, so it's something that you intentionally have to do, and good writers will do that every once in a while. Okay? Thanks a lot, and enjoy the lesson, and have a great day, everybody. See you later.